What's up, everybody? It's the Common Sense Investor coming at you with another video. And in this video, I want to talk about the recent meeting face-to-face with Congress that Gary Gensler recently had when they was grilling him concerning naked short selling concerning MMLTP. Okay? Now, I know that's not AMC, but what was being said was rocking my world as I was listening to it and comparing it to what's going on with AMC. So let's take a listen to what the congressman from Idaho had to say to Gary Gensler, and then I'll interject whenever Gary Gensler ends up answering the question, okay? Let's take a listen.
I've heard from many Idahoans how they've been impacted by the troubling trading halt of the metamaterials or MMTLP investors across the country share these same concerns. They have a lot of questions about what happened, the inability to sell the stock, and potential IRS implications. And to get answers about what happened, they've sent letters and made Freedom of Information requests of the SEC and I believe FINRA as well. And as of this point, I don't think we have the full response. And you know that my office has engaged to get answers as well. Can you confirm that the SEC is reviewing the trading halt from December 2022, and will you commit to publicly releasing the SEC's findings on this investigation?
Pretty straightforward question, people. He just wants to know. Mr. Gensler, listen up. I've got thousands of people from all over the United States, retail investors that are concerned about what happened to MMLTP December 22nd. Are you investigating, and when can we expect the results of that investigation? That's all this man asked Gary Gensler. But watch how Gary Gensler tries to get out of it.
Let me just sort of step back. FINRA is separate from the SEC, and they have a set of rules. They're organized, and those rules are approved by the SEC after public comment. But they then move forward and implement their rules. The matter that you raised around metamaterials, if I recall the name of it, in December of 2022, if I recall. Under FINRA's rules, they sought trading halt. They didn't seek the SEC's advice or permission on that. That is something that they did separately.
Now, basically, he's just thrown FINRA under the bus, all right? He just said, listen, there's two entities at work here. There's the SEC and there's FINRA, okay? And FINRA operated and did what they did to MMLTP on December 22nd without consulting the SEC. Then he's going to go on to explain that they didn't have to consult the SEC. They have the right to do what they was doing, but let's listen.
So is the SEC not investigating these actions at all?
Yeah, Gary. Are you investigating? That's all we need to know. We've been complaining to you for 2.5 years. Where are you at in this investigation, and are you even investigating? Let's see.
The SEC's role is to investigate many things in the capital markets. We don't speak to specific investigations.
All right, it's not your fault, it's FINRA's fault. And it's FINRA's fault. Are you investigating FINRA? I mean, what's going on here? We can't talk about investigations like that, you know. We got an investigation going on. We can't talk about it. How many times have we heard them use that bullshit excuse? Gary, are you investigating FINRA to see if they were in compliance with their rules? That's all we want to know.
But we do, on a regular basis, examine FINRA for compliance with their rules and examine them on a regular basis on whether they're following their own rules as put out to public comment. We regularly examine, because they're such an important part of the capital markets, we examine them annually, I think. Part of our division of examination has a whole unit that examines FINRA on a regular basis.
Well, I don't know whether this question relates to you or FINRA or both, but the investors have asked for the aggregated audited share count for the MMTLP and for the blue sheet data to ascertain whether MMTLP shares were subject to counterfeit and naked short selling. Have FINRA and the SEC analyzed MMTLP for any potential fraud or wrongdoing?
Oh, hell, people. This is what we call getting down to the nut cutting time in this conversation. Now, he's got to answer the question, are you, the SEC, looking into MMLTP and the possible naked short selling of their company? Is FINRA looking into the possible naked short selling, or are both of y'all looking into it? Now, what do you think his answer is? Of course,
we're well aware of these matters, but I can't speak about specific possible investigations or even confirm or deny whether we have them, because it protects the markets. When we sometimes close an investigation and we don't find something, but certainly we could follow up staff about the specific questions about data.
Oh, hell, he hid behind the listen, we can't talk about investigations that are ongoing and everything. So, does that mean the investigation is ongoing? And if so, how long will it be before we get a result, Gary?
All right. Am I hearing you say, though, I do believe I'm hearing you say that there could be an investigation underway, but you can't give data about it. But if there is an investigation underway into these matters, and if that investigation finds answers, is that information not going to be made available to the public?
We only make information as a result of any investigation public if we either settle or bring charges in competent courts. And that's really helps protect the public and protects individuals when we don't bring charges.
Well, then how are investors and, frankly, Congress to know whether you have even undertaken such an investigation or whether such an investigation has resulted in any outcome?
Again, part of, I think, the trust in our capital markets is being a cop on the beat, but also when we close investigations that do not result in either litigation or a settlement, that's really between those various registrants or market participants.
Look, you just have to trust me. I mean, we got this. Listen, he told that man, if there's an investigation ongoing and they don't find anything, it's none of your business, people. None of my business, whether there's anything going on or not. How stupid of a comment is that? If there's nothing going on and people are complaining, don't you think it's best to address the situation? Say that we've investigated and we have found nothing, or bring charges if something has been done. So, he hauled around what this man's trying to say, hid behind the fact that he can't really talk about an ongoing investigation. When he was pressed about, so there's probably an investigation, when can we hear about it? Oh, well, you might not ever hear anything about the investigation. You just have to trust us. So there you go. There's our SEC, people that are supposed to be protecting retail investors, hard at work before Congress, proving to everybody they are upstanding. So with that, love y'all, be blessed, and I'll see you in the next video.